All right, second day, network security. They did the pre-assessment at the beginning of class, and I looked down through that. Mostly terminology dealing with malicious software were problem areas. And they'll have an opportunity to look at the questions that they missed and go through them again, and I will turn the test on so they can retake it over the weekend. Today, we covered network vulnerabilities and threats, the idea that track it and publish it. We talked a little bit about when you find vulnerabilities in software, you have the capability of reporting that, and also probably the responsibility, and there is also ways to make a little bit of money doing that. Countermeasures, we have policies and procedures, we have technologies, and then we have to have people aware. We talked a little bit about the different types of technologies in terms of, you could have some hardware, software, all those different things. That is the area we'll be working primarily in, but you know which of those technologies to use based on the policy. You know, that indicates, and then from the policy you create procedures. And it's so important for people to be aware of the policy and procedures. We didn't go through them all, but there's a number of specific types of attacks, and those are all in the curriculum. We reviewed some of the points. Technology has really changed. The complexity has increased tremendously over the years. The amount of use of networks and the ability to break a network or break into it and so forth can be done with little knowledge, even though it's very complex. We also talked about network security is becoming specialized also, different areas people deal with. Tech staff no longer are the core in driving planning and implementation of a network security. We need to understand that what network people are charged to do is make the business more productive, continuity, reliability, all those things in terms of the network. So there's so many more people involved with setting up security policies, not just the IT people. Malicious code, we talked about malicious code, the characteristics of it, what threats there are, methods by which malicious code can spread, and here there's just some different terminologies, understanding the difference between viruses and worms and Trojan horses and so forth. Another key thing, malicious code is always being modified and new malicious code is always being generated. In dealing with this whole area, we talked a little bit on the return of investment. You know, the business side of setting up security, setting up the things that deal with that, and what return on investment are they going to obtain. We didn't go through the specific algorithms or so forth, but you need to understand that that can be calculated. Maybe not exactly, but it can be calculated. And then we spent a little bit of time talking about the next chapter, administrative access, authentication, who can get in, authorization, what they can do, and then managing what they do. So chapter 2 is going to talk primarily about managing this, privilege rights, how we get in, why we would want to allow access this way, when people are in, what they can do, and then being able to monitor that, and also monitoring or managing and working with the iOS, what items there in terms of the iOS. All right. So this completes chapter 1, and we'll dig into chapter 2 on Tuesday of next week.